Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's topic is my title for this video is Ramit Sethi is obsessed about renting over owning. So there is this YouTuber, his name is Ramit Sethi, and he give out financial advice. A lot of things that he teach on his channel, I do believe in, and I do align with. But recently, there's this one particular video that he keep on trying to convince the person that he interviewed, the husband and wife Karen and Chad, that their house is one of the biggest obstacle. It's one of the biggest mistake that they made. And the reason that I don't like this video that much is because he keep on pounding and pounding and pounding the two individual that they should sell the house. And there's a couple of so the video title is "We Bought Our Dream House." Then he lost his job. So he so he equate all the problem is because of the house purchase. So for here, I'll give you a couple of snip from the video to see, to tell, to give you an overview, like a summary of how the video went and how many times Ramit is telling, kind of trying to convince the his interviewer that his interviewee that they should sell the house. So the first part is here at 21 minute and 30 second. Let's see.
I would say that I put a lot of options out of bounds. Like, I don't want to sell the house. Everything else that we can cut, I feel like we've cut. We used to have things like maids. Those are gone. I had a gym membership, gone. We had some laundry services, gone. Like, I don't know what we've cut everything I can possibly think of.
So you're saying,
I'm kind of saying we don't have any more options. I'm saying we've done everything we can do beyond selling the house because we're already locked in. We got this path dependence thing where we're in this house, we're in this neighborhood because we were indexed on a different salary before. So we're kind of like locked into a different standard, I guess. I guess that's gets to the heart of what we're trying to accomplish here is like, if we sell the house, downgrade, Karen seems to think this is going to magically solve all our problems. I think we're going to be back in the same boat because we haven't actually identified the root of the problem. Selling the house will just be a bigger band-aid than we've done to date.
what do you?
So as you can see, the Chad, that's the name of the person that he interviewed, gave all the reason why he loved the house and the house is off. It's not one of the options that he think about when he wanna fix his financial situation. So that's the first that they mentioned about it, and then here is the other thing. Let's go move out to 27 minutes and 10 seconds. Let's see. So just go down here. Let's go to here.
Speaking of debt, $514,000. Can you break that down for me?
It's the mortgage. That's what we owe on the house.
Where's the family obligation?
We didn't put that in there.
Yeah, we just wiped it out. Yeah, we should put that in there.
180K. You're just like, Dad, doesn't count. What is that?
Because the agreement we wrote upon was we would pay it back if we sold the house.
It's secured against the house. Yeah, but it should be in that.
There's no payment plan. Yeah.
So yes, you would add 180K, even though your payments don't reflect it, because that will decrease the amount you will make when you sell your house.
Decreases the equity. Yeah.
All right, net worth 1.3.
So that part there, the backstory is the father sell some of his asset and loan it to Chad and Karen $180,000, and because there's no term limit or interest rate or interest on top of the mortgage, they are not paying back that 180 right now. And when they fill out the information, they did not include that in there. Now it makes he's right. Ramit is right that they should add that in there, 180,000 on their worksheet. But I think Ramit in this part is trying to bring that up so that they can tie back with the house is the 180 is lien on the house, when so if you want to pay that back, you have to sell the house to do that. Okay. Let's see, the next one is at 101. Let's see, let me scroll down to that portion. I think it might be 101, 112. Let's see, try it here. 101, 101. Let's go here.
the numbers. Their housing costs are 33.6%, a little bit higher than the 28% I recommend. They've hinted at it multiple times, but we finally need to address the elephant in the room, which is their house. What does the house mean to you?
It means a stable place for the kids, I guess, is the main thing I think about. I think safety is something maybe we take a little bit for granted here, or we just assume everything's safe. We don't even lock our doors here. I don't want to be moving to a place that's not safe. That's not worth any amount of money to me. Okay. The house, I mean, I've been working out of the house for the last 5 years, so it's like also a place to work out of. If I didn't have that, I'd have to figure something out, get a co-working space or something to that effect. Yeah, we haven't had a conscious plan. So if we can come up with an actual plan, that would go a long ways to addressing those concerns. Do you agree?
It's more than a plan, Chad.
And action. Plan and action.
More than action. Before any of that, you could have come up with a plan before you even saw me. If you look at your CSP, it's quite obvious what to do. It literally jumps off the page. I'll show you. Why you haven't been able to get to the plan is the crux of why we are here today. Y'all, the plan is not the hard part. You're both very intelligent. And the idea that, oh, it's just things. Well, let me try to take that argument with you, Chad. Why don't you just get rid of your house? It's just a thing.
Yeah.
See, as you can see, again, Ramit tie back to, okay, a house is just a thing. Even though after Chad explained to him that, oh, it's the house more than just a thing because it provides safety, it provides security, it provides a place for, Chad and Karen to live for the last 5 years. So it's not just something that you can just, okay, I owe money and I should sell it. And I'll tell you that, later on you'll see more, I'll give you the background of the house situation as well, so that you know why I'm so frustrated when Ramit keep on bringing up the house in this video.
I mean, it should be on the table for sure.
Yeah, but why haven't you? Why have you been so resistant to getting rid of the house, including in this conversation? It's just a thing.
It feels like short-term thinking, I guess.
Well, you have $0 in savings. Don't you need to think short-term right now?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yes. Like the house is on fire.
Because we don't have the savings. That's why the house is on fire.
Yes. 3 kids, 1 person who's already lost a job in the past. That's a massive risk. Massive. And it's not the 2 of you. Even if it was the 2 of you, you would be in a really, really precarious position. But with 3 children, it is red alert level of risk.
Okay.
Finally.
When you think about the financial environment that you want to raise your kids in, what kind of environment comes to mind?
I want them to learn.
So as you can see there, he trying to guilt tripping Chad into, oh, the house should be on the table because you gotta have all this obligation to your kids, and with the house there, it's just gonna make it more risky because if you lose your job again, because previous to this, like a couple years back, Chad lost his job and then they were in a financial situation that they can't get out of. So now Ramit bringing that up, saying, okay, so what if you lose your job again? Then you're gonna lose your house anyway. So that's why he bringing it up in here, just trying to make Chad feel bad, like, oh, why didn't you put the house on the table, right? So the next one, he mentioned it again here. Let's see, 104, 59.
A set of tactics that jointly work together to solve the challenge.
What are some example tactics that you will probably have to do in order to hit the 10% savings and 10% investment goals?
Sell the house, downgrade the house.
So at this point, an hour in, he was able to convince Chad that the house should be on the table. And it came out from Chad's mouth that, oh, selling the house might be a good idea. Now, later on, I will give you like a reason why I think it's a really bad idea. But let's finish.
Go somewhere with your schools, because, I mean, that's the only way you get cheaper houses. You go to a school district with your schools.
Oh, I didn't realize we're insulting our options. I thought we were just putting them out on the table.
Okay, so now he actually convinced Chad to reverse course and disregarding the environment, the neighborhood that they are currently living in, which is kind of bad. Okay, let's see. I think there's a couple more clips that I wanted to see before I gave you my opinion on this. The next one is 108.40. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see here.
0 Guilt-free spending, 30%. Chad, tell me the first thing you'd like to change.
I guess, I mean, cut that mortgage in half would be nice.
So Chad is willing to sell the house to see if the number worked out.
What? How are you going to do that?
Downgrade the house. It's the only option.
Damn, hold on. This is crazy. I never had anyone who ever started with the house. Ever. This is crazy. Can you get housing for your family?
It is crazy, by the way. I'll give you a back end story. It's actually, the if you watch the clip, like the whole video from the beginning, you'll understand why I think it's crazy. But
for $2,000 a month?
We could, if we take the equity we have and put it as a down payment on a smaller place here.
I need the number that you would actually walk away with.
500,000. That's minus the 180.
Assuming that if they sell the house, they walk away with 500,000, right? And then if they pay back the
believe minus the
if they pay back the debt, the 180, they'll be
transaction costs.
It's a lot.
Say the number.
72 grand.
All right, 72 grand in fees. What else? Isn't there some other fees associated with selling?
I think we dodge the cap gains if it's under 500.
Right.
Then, I mean, yeah, I don't know how you want to think about it. If you want to move over to renting or buying a new place, but if you're going to buy a new house, there's a lot of fees involved with that transaction too.
Okay. So you have some math to run, but seems to me that's one big option.
Immediately, I'm thinking of all the friends that the kids play with every day across the street. And we won't have that anymore. And that seems sad to me.
You might not.
If we can find a way around it, I would love to. It is so ingrained in us to have home ownership. That's the pinnacle of adulthood in this country, right? And that's success.
And to pay for your...
Oops, what happened? I did click something. Okay, so yeah. So they were able to, Ramit were able to convince them that, selling is on the table. But then, as you can see, like, once they break down, like, what's going to cost you to sell, how much you're going to walk away with, subtracting all the fees, it's not even the big number that they're going to end up walking away with anyway. But then let's continue looking.
Your kids' college.
Right.
But who paid for your college, Karen?
Me.
You paid. And did you build responsibility? Were you resourceful?
Yes. One of the ideas I had.
And the other thing is the whole video, he is complimenting the way that Karen, it's responsible with money. But I mean, if they both in this situation, then he can't really, I don't know. But we'll see.
To bear with me here was we can rent out our house for a fairly big chunk of money, like our current house, and then we could rent something more affordable and more within our current budget.
Nice. How much could you rent it out for?
Comps around here were about $6,500 a month.
$6,000, $6,500. And if you could rent something, how much could you rent a place that you all would need? How much?
Between 3 and 4.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Have to run the calculations more carefully.
Because we'd be basically, you could just scale it by square footage. If we're in a 3,000 square foot house, we'd be scaling down to a 2,000 square foot house. So a third less.
3,000 square feet? What the
No, we're actually in 4,200 square feet.
Oh, right. The basement. Yeah.
What the
Chad thinks that this is a normal sized house in a modest house in a modest neighborhood.
How the am I talking to a couple with $0 in savings who has a 4,200 square foot house? This is crazy.
Now here he's actually cussing out the his interviewee. But the thing is, like, Karen's right. Like, the other option is you can rent out the house and then downsize that way. Now, when you rent out the house, she mentioned it that the comps there are 6,500, and since their mortgage is only 4,000, even if you add in the tax, you'll walk away, like, let's say conservatively you walk away with 1,500 on top of it, right? Then you can actually use that 1,500 toward your rental. Now, if your rental is for 3,000 to 4,000. Then you can cut it down to 2,500, and that is much lower than the current house payment right now, and that's an option. And if you do that, then of course you don't have to worry about all the fees that's gonna come with selling the house. So anyway, that, and then this is the next one's the last clip, and this is the reason why I was watching the video the whole time, and I thought they bouncing back and forth, and then he's trying to convince them about selling house, but they just don't give you that option out there. But at the end of the video, we actually push them toward oh, we should have a house. Let's see, where is it? Okay, here you go.
Emergency fund. What would that look like? If I were in this situation, I would run all the calculations, but just instinctively, I would probably sell the house or rent the house out. Probably sell it, because renting it out has a lot of expenses that you're not going to cover or predict. And historically, you have not been particularly effective at putting that money aside for those big house expenses. I would sell that freaking house. I would pay off the debt. I would take most of the money and invest it. I would go rent a place that is somewhere around, but cheaper, way smaller, way smaller. You have a lot of options on that side.
So that's his final, recommendation. Sell a house, downsize, and then you don't have to worry about it. So now if you go back at the beginning of the, I think of the video, around like 26 minute and 43 second, you will see that the house worth around 1.225 right now, and the total debt, which is 514,000, is of the house only. So the what you can also see, like here previously, like at the beginning of the video, is that the mortgage on the house, the rate is only 2.75%. Okay, so they bought the house 2 years ago at 2.75%. So let's see some calculation, and then I'll tell you what my think. So if I do a quick loan amount of 600,000 at a 2.75% for a 15-year term, which is what they claim they have on the house. I didn't know the original mortgage, the original loan, but then calculating out to be around $4,071, which is about the same amount that they claim they have to pay per month for the mortgage. Let's see, where are you? Okay, where is it? I know it's here somewhere. Here you go. So if you see that mortgage right here, it's like $4,182. So this is close enough. So assuming that they borrow that much, and with a 2.75% mortgage, this is how much they pay around there. So because they only owe 514,000 left, you can deduct out how much they still, or which month they are on. So if I look at the calculation and look at around 3.14 5.14, which is around this area, so they're on their 30 or 31st payment, mortgage payment. So as you can see here, with that low amount and this balance, this is where they are. Now the interesting thing is, they don't tell you in that video, is if you look up here, you got the month number, you got the interest payment, you got the principal payment, and then you got the ending balance. So the third column here is the principal payment. So throughout the whole video, Ramit never mentioned that of their $4,000 in payment, almost $3,000 go toward the principal, right? And if you own a home, you know what the principal is. It's mean you pay down what you owe on the loan, and then that add back to your equity on the house. So you pay 3,000 here, then when you sell the house, you get the net more 3,000 more. So out of that 4,000, 75% is already for the principal. Okay, right? So that's the current house. Now let's say we sell a house and then we rent, right? So the house price is 1.225, right? And assuming that realtor, the broker fee is 6%, and then the 2% of like miscellaneous, right? So you time 0.92, because let's say it's like 1 minus 0.08, 8% for fees, right? That means you get that much, right? And then with that, if you subtract, that much, and then you pay the mortgage, you pay the balance on the mortgage, 514, right? Then you get this much. Then you pay the parents back 180. You walk away with around 433,000. If you sell the house, that's what they walk away with. So with 433,000 in their pocket, they have to go rent. right? Because we're combining buy and rent, right? So let's say they rent. Like Karen said earlier, the house that they have right now currently rent for 6,500. So if they downsize, let's assuming that they downsize 30%, then they have to rent for what? 4,000 a month. So instead of paying 4,000 for their house at a 2.75%, with 75% with almost 3,000 toward the principal, now they go rent and pay $4,000 for somebody else's house, and all that go toward rent. So none of them will go toward the principal because there's no mortgage, so there's no principal. So now they still pay the same amount, 4,000 a month. They're not gonna add anything on their bottom line, but then the whole payment will be to somebody else's. Now we all say that in realtor, like as a real estate professional, we always say to our people when they ask us, is it better to buy or sell? Like I always said, if you can afford it, buy. But the thing is, like, if you can't afford it, then don't buy. But for them to be in this situation already, as you can see, keep the house better because you either pay the mortgage for your own house, which is in this case with 3,000 toward the principal, or you rent somebody else's house, you still pay $4,000, but you pay their mortgage. So what you want to do? You want to pay your mortgage and pay down your principal, or you want to pay somebody else's mortgage and pay down their principal? The amount's the same. They're not even changing that much, unless they downgrade to a $2,000 per month rental, which is gonna cut their size to maybe 1,200 square feet. I don't know, their family of five, I think 5 or 6, with them and 3 kids, they can live in a $1,200 home, coming from where they are, and of course they give up all the safety, all the neighborhood, all their kids rent. Like they gave us so much for literally what not much, right? And that's comparing keeping the house to renting. Now, if they sell the house and they buy another one, would that be good? Well, let's see. They walk away with 433,000, right? Assuming that they downgrade to $1 million home or even 900, right? So 900, if you get 900 and you minus this, right? Minus this whole thing, right? This is how much you need to borrow, 467,000. Assuming that they borrow 467,000, right? Another 15 year at a 6% mortgage rate. Let's see how much they have to pay. 3,900 a month. So it doesn't even go that far from the 4,100, right? But guess what? They add an extra 2 year of payment. Because why? Because they're already on that 31st. Actually, more than 2 years. Like through 2.5 years of payment. Because they're already here. They're already the payment on 30 or 31st. Now if they started over, they have to pay another 60, 60 month of payment. No, not 60, but 180 month of payment again. Instead of here, they only have 180 minus 30, so they pay an extra 2.5 years of payment at pretty close to what they originally now. So even selling and buying another one, it's even not making sense. Now the thing is, I like Karen's idea about keep the house, rent it out for 6,500 a month, and then rent a smaller place. So if they rent out their place for 6,500 a month, right? Minus the 40, is it 4,000? 4,000 per month, 4,200, right? 4,200 mortgage, right? And then let's say minus another 1,500 in tax. Let me see how much they have. 800 a month. 800 a month they can apply to their rental, and let's say the rental 4,000 or even 3,500, they can reduce it to under 3,000 per month for rent, and they're still paying off their mortgage 3,000 a month. So technically they're living for free rent if they rent something at 3,000. So keep the house, rent it out, downgrade to a smaller one for now, and then once they save up enough money, they can move back in. But just to push it to oh, they should sell it, it's not a good idea. Not with this setup, not with the 2.75 interest rate and this kind of market right now. You don't want to do that. And I mean, I'm always trying to help people, and I mean, right now, even though he got so much people listening to him, I look at all the all the comments, and people are like, dude, you guys should sell the house already. You should sell the house. I'm like, no, they're not supposed to sell the house. Like, why would you want to sell the house right now when you got a 2.75 interest rate? That's crazy. That's like throwing money, like, down in the sea and never gonna see it again, because they lose so much if they sell the house. They lose so much. I mean, if I know probably Chad never go this deep into their financial, well, or the option of selling a house or renting and stuff like that. But I think that he have a point of like, oh, selling a house is not gonna solve anything. It's not gonna solve like much in this scenario, at least, because the house was so good. They were able to lock in the 2.75%. That's like that worth so much money over the long term, because as you can see, look, look at how much. I don't know if they amortizing schedule. See, with the house right now, right, they will pay $132,000 in interest. If they flip the house and sell it and downgrade, look at 242. They're paying $100,000 more in interest over the life of the loan. Look at it. Why would you want to do that? And guess what? In 15 years, if they rent, look at this, times 12 times 15. That is $720,000 to the landlord. They're not ever gonna get back. How can this make sense to Ramit? I don't know. Like why he adamant about telling them to sell the house. It's bad advice. Well, anyway, that's all I have. Like, I saw this video the other day. I'm like, oh my god, this is so bad. This is so bad. This is like, I have to make something to counter it. Like, because like, if they actually listen to him, they are like killing their finances. They are killing it, because they will throw away a $3,000 a month in principal payment for nothing. I would say for nothing. Anyway, thank you. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you find this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And I will revolve around real estate tips, because I have a rental portfolio and all that stuff. But I'll try to make more videos like this in the future. Thank you. And if you have any question, please hit the like button. And if you have anything that you want me to discuss, please leave a comment, and I will try to do that. Okay.